Hello everyone, this is Ildiko here. I'm going to do a flip through of my sketchbook project that I just finished. The sketchbook project, as you see here, is a global art project where you order a sketchbook and you are to fill it up and then mail it back to the Brooklyn Art Library. And if you want to know more about the whole project, go and visit sketchbookproject.com. It's really fun. They will keep it forever, and then they also take it on trips, road trips. I think my first sketchbook that I sent in a couple of years ago, like maybe 3 years ago in 2015 or 16, was taken on one road trip. And you can also go into the art library in Brooklyn and look at these sketchbooks, and that would be something on my to-do list in the close future, to go and take a look at many of these books that are available for checkout right there. I'm going to show you my cover. This project gives you prompts that you can use for filling up your sketchbook. I was thinking about working with textures and ended up not giving that title for my sketchbook, although all the way through the process I was thinking about using different textures, like each page would have a different major texture. So that's that. Alright, so this is the front cover. Title of my sketchbook this year is Words to Remember, and I was looking for interesting words that first page is about transformation, and of course it comes with a butterfly for me, and background is done with napkins and some crackle paste. Stamping is done, and I can't even remember what else. The second page is altered since the recording of the footage is done. This video I added more flowers and some wax paste around the whole page because it seemed too flat for me, and now I think these flowers show curiosity for me. That was not supposed to be the word for this page. It was supposed to be strength, but then these flowers at the end looked more curious than strong. Constancy is the next one. For me is thinking about mountains. That's the first thing that came into my mind. And right now I would love to add something else to the pages, but I can't figure out what, and there is no more time for me to think about it. It feels flat for me, but it's alright. Then it's next word is ascendance, and I really love this page because of the paints I used on it. I wonder if the camera picks up on the shimmer and shine of that paint that I used on it. I love this one. Here we go. And this started with a napkin too, with some modeling paste, or gel medium, sorry, and then painted it over at the end, stamping some dragonflies, and it's done. You know, beautiful thinking is just, this is the first image that came in my mind, and obviously flourishes for thinking. So it's simple. Now I wish that I could change the color of the dahlia to something more bright orange, but I do like these colors together. Then we're coming to connection, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with this page in the beginning. I just added modeling paste across, and then did some collage in the background with book pages, and then I had to just leave it alone. Then when I looked at the gaps, this idea came in my mind that I needed to connect the leaves to the flowers and use strings, thread on them. This is how I ended up. I did like the colors at the end. This is one of my favorite color combination, oranges, yellows, and blues together. But this one is a little bit more warm than the previous page, so it's a bit different. Next one is Origination or Origin, and I had the most fun with making this background. Used the scrapbooking paper, and you see it in the background, glued down several places, sheet music, and I ended up with cutting out the circles from the scrapbooking paper and gluing them down randomly with some circular stamps and stamping with a cap. And then I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I needed to actually sleep on it. And watching the birds outside the window gave me the idea that they are soon nesting since it's springtime. So I found a free image, vintage image on the internet, and that's how it all ended up. Next page is one of my favorites, though I don't like red as in color and orange together, definitely not. This is more like a scrapbooking layout for me, but it works. And there is some embossing in the background, embossing the bird on a napkin also, and doing the little collage on the bottom as a place for the bird to stand on. And first I wanted to say communication, and then I found a better word that really describes what I wanted to say, and there it is. This is wax paste on the edge, and I do wish that it picked up the text more, but this is it. That's all it is. Alright, Vitality. I just wanted to use the sunflower pictures that I found on a scrapbook paper, and then I found a meaning. I think the Chinese meaning of sunflower is vitality. So I made a simple background that I actually like a lot, and I'm not sure why I covered up this much of it. I just couldn't stop gluing down the sunflowers, I guess. So I ended up just having a blank sunflower page, and it is not recorded. In the process video, I took out a Posca pen at the end, and I did some doodles to finish it off and break it up, because it was just a big sunflower blob compared to the background, and it was quite boring for me. So worked on it until I made it look alright. Here is the close-up on the sunflower that I actually like a lot. Alright. Then abundance is one of my favorite words. The colors faded out so much for me, but it's really, again, one of my favorite color combinations. Orangish, yellowish, blues together. And it's just a lot of fussy cutting with the birds and some stamping on the bottom. And that was a simple page to do. And finally I got to use again some of my favorite materials, the tape, joint tape from hardware store. Inevitability, if I pronounce it right. That's a long one for me, but spring is coming, flowers are coming. It's just how it goes. I had a horrible time doing modeling paste over the crack of the book. You probably can see it. I suffered with it until I finally shaped it in the right places and tugged it in with a palette knife, and then it was like, now what? So I painted the tree yellow to make it stand out, and it was still, so what? Then I found confetti that I could punch out and I could glue it down, and then I remembered one of my favorite paints is the Pentart Chameleon Paints. They have a very interesting shimmering texture again. I wonder if this one's gonna show up on the paint. Yellow to purple on the side. When I use the splattering, it probably shows better. Well, that's that. And it got done somehow. I really like the background here with the skinny sewing thread. I think I'm gonna use it more often. And then this was one of the words I really wanted to do, luminescence, and obviously it's summer is coming. June is going to be filled with fireflies. That's one of the most amazing things to watch, and evenings in the summer. So I'm looking forward to that. A little stencil work is done. Not much other than that. I hope you like it though. The bugs became a little bit dark than I expected. I wanted them, but that's all. Alright. Most of this page is also not filmed, recorded, because I got just too stuck. And then the camera ran out of memory, then the camera ran out of power. So the moment it all stopped working, everything stopped working, I just started doodling, and then I could not stop until I got the results on the owl like this, and I actually like. So I just had to keep on working. You got that on the screen. Here you go. It's just doodling though with a big colored pencil. Here is another one. Serendipity is one of my favorite words, and the luck is represented with the number 7. That I think is my lucky number, and 7-dotted ladybugs. The 7 polka-dotted ladybugs are also considered lucky. But at the end, because this ladybug stamp that I used was huge, I had to go make these huge spikes. So for the right proportion, so it looks a little bit jagged to me. It's not as lucky. It's more of a dare to look at this page, but I don't mind it. I like the colors against my all red and orange dislike. So that's that. Next page is Rejuvenation. I needed to do something with the time as a reference, and wings and flowers again. I kind of love these colors together. It does talk about like rebirth, or I don't know, getting young again, feeling young, actually not getting young, feeling young again. And then the sparkle on the wings, I hope it shows. That's a great stencil. My God. Again, the next one is Jubilance, and it is again, something else, I would not be using these colors together, but I did not have any more time to change it all up because the deadline for the postmark for the sketchbook project is April the 30th, as in a couple of days from now. So that's that. It turned out all right. And then the last page is coming up, contentment, and that's included space there for the artist information. I actually decided to use that. I remembered that that's obviously the craft paper color, and I tried to work with that color on purpose, and I ended up using an old newspaper magazine from Hungary, and another book pages from Hungary, and then this one is a free image download again from the internet, and it actually worked together. Try to give the feel of the clouds with the doilies, and I felt quite happy about finishing it. And then I got totally stuck again with the cover because obviously that needs to be finished too, and that one took about 2 days to come up with something that is worthy of the rest of the pictures inside, or they look like they work together. But managed to do something, and now it's ready to go to the Brooklyn Art Library. Here you go. If you go to Brooklyn, I suggest you go and check out the place, and maybe check out my sketchbook. All right, that's it for today. I hope I didn't take a long time, and I do hope that you will be interested in watching the process videos that are coming up in the next week or so. All right, that's all. Bye bye.